Hello everyone. In this video, we're picking out and sharing the latest topics about Asia. From one of the most famous Reddit-style forums in Japan. Even if you don't understand Japanese, we've translated everything into English subtitles and audio. So you can join the conversation as if you were in Japan. So, let's dive into the discussions happening in Japan. On the 23rd, the Japanese government held a council meeting regarding land and property acquisitions around important security facilities. They reported that in fiscal year 2023, the highest number of land purchases around these facilities by foreigners or foreign entities came from China. Most of the purchases were apartments and condos, particularly in the Tokyo metropolitan area, likely for investment purposes by Chinese buyers.
When Japanese people try to bargain down to 100 million yen, Chinese buyers just dropped 200 million yen without hesitation. Of course, people will sell to the Chinese. At least put some restrictions on how the land can be used. What does, for investment purposes, mean? It means they can rent it out to anyone at any time. Do you realize what abandoning rural areas actually means? The Japanese government isn't doing anything about it. How are they supposed to handle it? Get rid of private property rights? Maybe they should learn from Xi Jinping and figure out how to nationalize real estate. Just make property taxes for foreigners 5 times higher. The US and Canada already have restrictions for major countries like China. Reciprocity solves this. If China doesn't let foreigners own land, then Chinese nationals shouldn't be able to own property in Japan. Letting Chinese people into Japan doesn't bring any benefits. They just circulate profits within their own circle and send the money back home. For every Chinese person who profits in Japan, a Japanese person loses out. If they don't pay property taxes, the government should confiscate the land. This basically leaves Japan open to invasion by China at any time. China should just buy the US military base in Okinawa and turn it into Chinatown. I'd go there for fried rice. A friend of mine said his apartment was sold to a Chinese buyer, and the rent for Japanese tenants went up. When he complained, the Chinese owner told him to leave if he didn't like it. At this rate, Japanese people won't be able to live in Japan anymore. Even if Chinese people buy all the land in Japan, it doesn't automatically make it Chinese territory, so who cares? But at some point, they might just take control of it. The most frequently flagged problematic acquisition was a condo in Ichigaya. It's probably because there's a military base there. The Chinese military is obviously involved. Japan needs to wake up. If the government won't do anything, at least let Japanese citizens arm themselves. With the yen this week, Japanese land and companies are a bargain. To foreign buyers, it must feel like a clearance sale. You don't need to go to war to take over a country. Of course they're getting something in return. They bought ruling party fundraiser tickets. Now I understand how Americans felt during the Japan bashing era when Japanese investors were buying up everything overseas during the bubble economy. Just tax them 1 trillion yen every year and the problem is solved. Right now, it's just being used as a way for wealthy Chinese people to diversify their assets. If they leave their wealth in China, it can be confiscated. Most other countries have restrictions on foreign land ownership. Just confiscate the assets of wealthy Chinese people. Problem solved. If China starts a war, just seize the land. This is the new form of invasion? Bloodless but effective. The smartest people always win. Japanese people are too slow to catch on. Real estate doesn't move, so it's fine. Japanese people bought up American land back in the day too. You should study The Art of War by Sun Tzu, like the samurai used to. There's plenty of vacant land and houses in rural areas anyway. It works out fine. If we're selling the land, they should at least build factories for advanced technology. If you count water sources too, it's probably 3 times worse. And yet people are still saying welcome, welcome. What a joke. Japanese people selling land for their own profit are also to blame. I thought there were a lot of ads hyping up real estate prices in tourist hotspots. Turns out this is why. Real estate is making crazy money. The opposition party promised to ban Chinese land acquisitions. Japanese people are the ones selling the land anyway. And then the Chinese neighbors will start cutting down trees on your property. Japan used to make and sell things. Now there are barely any Japanese people left in Japan. No one works, there's nothing left to sell, so they're selling off land. It's just the natural course of events. They'll probably build drone airports on the land they buy. China tried to build a Chinese garden near the White House to eavesdrop. But that got shut down. They won't hesitate to do shady things, like installing listening devices on power lines near military bases. If this keeps going, it's only a matter of time before we have a Chinese autonomous region in Japan.
Did you find this video interesting? We'll keep bringing you fun topics from Japan's online community. Please subscribe to the channel and drop some comments.